From this moment on, I'll be your companion on the journey to understanding and winning a woman's heart. My mission? To bring you honest, no-nonsense truths about what women really want, not just what they say they want. But before we dive into today's story, I have a small favor to ask. If you find this video, or any video on this channel, helpful, please share it with someone who might need it. One small action could make a big difference in someone's life. Now let's rewind to a real moment that happened just a few days ago. That night I was out with two friends, Mike and Eric. We were sitting in a cozy bar, not too crowded, when suddenly a woman walked in. Tall, stunning, the kind of beauty that turns heads without even trying, like a movie star who just stepped off set. Within 10 seconds, a line of guys started approaching her, one after another. She didn't say much, just smiled and turned each of them down gracefully but firmly. Mike was convinced that all it took was walking up, smiling, and saying, "Hi, I'm Mike." He thought that would be enough to impress her. But I knew it wouldn't work, not in this case. As a woman, I can tell you, a polite hello only lands if she already feels some interest. If she doesn't, like this woman clearly didn't, then shallow attempts get shut down instantly. Eric, on the other hand, thought he should just be direct and say, "You're the most beautiful woman here." Worse idea. Why? Because someone like her probably hears that 10 times a day. That kind of compliment doesn't stir anything, it's just noise. If anything, it makes her feel bored. So both of them turned to me and asked, "Okay, then what should we say to a woman like that?" I glanced around the bar. Every other woman was wearing tight, short dresses, very sexy. But this one, she wore a loose blouse and jeans. Casual, comfortable, effortless. That was her difference. And that's exactly what I told them to focus on. I suggested they use the OSA method, a smart, natural approach built on real-time observation. If it were me, I'd walk up and say, "You're the only woman here not dressed like you're wrapped in cellophane, and that's incredibly attractive." Simple, but so much more powerful than a generic hello or recycled compliment. Why? Because it's not something you could say to just any woman. It's based on true observation in that exact moment. It's unique, a little funny, and deeply personal. It shows that you noticed her for who she is, not just what she looks like. And not everyone has the presence or emotional intelligence to catch that kind of subtlety. That's what makes her feel special. As soon as I finished explaining, Mike went silent for a second. Then he got up and walked over to her. And what happened? She smiled, blushed, turned toward him. They started chatting, laughing, connecting. And yes, by the end of the night, Mike had her number. While the rest of the guys were still sitting there, puzzled, wondering what just happened. So what's the real lesson here? It's simple, but not easy to do. If you want to make an impact from the very first moment, you have to say something that can't be said to anyone else but her. Not some generic compliment. Not a pickup line you picked up somewhere. But something uniquely yours, based on something you genuinely noticed about her in that very moment. Let me emphasize this. The key is personalization. A comment about the blouse she's wearing, the drink she chose, or a small, thoughtful gesture she just made. These may seem like little things, but when spoken with sincerity and subtlety, they create this feeling. He sees me. He's actually paying attention to me. And that is the moment that makes a woman pause. What draws her in isn't your looks, or how smooth your lines are. It's the feeling of being truly seen and understood, without having to try too hard or put on a show. When you say something meant only for her, she feels her true worth. You're not just another guy trying to hit on her. You're someone who's attentive enough to notice what everyone else missed. And that makes you stand out. It sparks her curiosity. More importantly, it makes her want to keep the conversation going. Of course, I'm not saying one sentence will win her heart instantly. But the right sentence, one that's personal and honest, is the first door that opens to a genuine connection. It's the beginning of something that could go further, deeper, and feel realer than anything you've tried before. In a world that's getting louder and more superficial, a man who dares to observe, dares to say something different, and dares to show real care, is not only someone women want, but someone they deeply value. So what happens after that first line? How do you keep her engaged in the conversation? The answer isn't in constantly trying to impress. It's in your ability to guide the emotional flow and build a connection. Once you've said something that gets her attention, like, You're the only woman here who isn't dressed like she's wrapped in cellophane. I love that comfort and confidence. You've already created a pause. Maybe she smiles. Maybe she replies. Or maybe her eyes just shift, slightly curious. Whatever her reaction, you've captured a moment of connection. And that moment, if you know how to hold it, becomes the foundation for a meaningful conversation. The secret? Go deeper, not wider. Don't jump to a new topic or start talking about yourself. Stick with the thing you just said and build on it. For example, usually people who choose to dress comfortably in places like this have a pretty unique way of living. Would that be true for you? Now, this isn't about being right or wrong. It's about opening a door for her to share something about herself. And when she talks, really listen. Because that's how you gather more threads to keep the conversation flowing naturally and deeply. Do you see the difference? Talking to women isn't about game or techniques. It's about presence, observation, and empathy. When you stop trying to be someone else and just show up as your best, most observant, sincere self, you won't have to keep her attention. She'll want to stay. If you want to discover more secrets about how women think, how to naturally attract them, and how to build real connections, follow Love 888. This is your space for honest insights on love, dating, and relationships. No fluff, no fakery, just the truth and powerful strategies made for you.